out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're to present you our MLB On Deck segment for Monday, June 10th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our MLB, NBA, and NFL videos. And if you haven't came and checked out the website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel, and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure and check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, bro? How you doing out there, Jeremy?
Yo, what up, man? I'm good.
Hey, how was your weekend? I know you were telling me the NASCAR got delayed yesterday, and you're ready for that to kind of pick up today.
Yeah, NASCAR got delayed, so I got a bunch of entries tied up in NASCAR. Kind of wish that would kick off.
Yeah, for sure. Now, hey, man, if you guys haven't, like I said, man, we got more than just the basics: MLB, NBA, and NFL. You know, we also got NASCAR on the site. We got PGA. We got MMA. We also got some NHL. So, hey, man, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. Get yourself your free 2-week trial. Yes, we're giving you 2 weeks to try out our site. Make sure that our tools are right for you. So don't miss out. Check it out. And, man, I'm ready to jump in and talk some baseball today.
For sure, let's get it.
As always, this video is a little bit more of an overview, get you a general idea of some spots that we're going to be targeting today. If you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure check out the site. There's a bunch of different other MLB articles up every single day outside this video. So a lot of research, a lot of things that you can look at to make some really, really quality decisions day in and day out. Man, I'm going to jump right into it. We got Coors Field on the slate, so I'm going to kind of go there first. One thing I'll quickly say about Coors Field is there's a couple of decent pitchers going. It's not even like a Coors Field where there's two bad pitchers going and it's just going to be crazy. But the thing about it is it is Coors Field. It's starting to get a little bit hotter now, as we start getting more towards the summer. The wind's blowing out today. We got it projected at blowing out at 10 miles an hour. So, I definitely think there's going to still be some runs put up in this game. I'll start with the Colorado side of things. They get a matchup today against Yu Darvish. Gives up a 88% hard contact rate, 213 ISO to lefties, 138 ISO to righties. And then on the flip side, as a team, Colorado has a 188 team ISO. They got some definite lefty mashers in this lineup. You want to. The thing about Yu Darvish is, he kind of has reverse splits, and lefties are the ones that are really hitting him harder this season with the 213 ISO compared to the 138. But I'm still going to be looking at, Trevor Story, Nolan Arenado. Both of those guys absolutely crush left-handers. And then, a couple lefties that we could target, obviously that are having success off Yu Darvish this season. You can look at a Blackman, David Dahl, Daniel Murphy is definitely in play. You can look at the guy we've been talking about him since he came up, the young guy Brendan Rodgers. So Colorado, they're in a good spot today against Yu Darvish. It's pretty easy. Whenever Coors on the slate, you got to kind of at least have some kind of interest. And then on the flip side of things, you get the Cubs. They get a matchup against German Marquez, who gives up a 35% hard contact rate, 120 ISO to lefties, 117 ISO to righties. The Cubs as a team, they have a 199 team ISO. And there's one thing I want to say about the Cubs is I feel like they're starting to heat up a little bit. They're swinging some better bats. So I think that they're definitely in play. I do like the Rocky side of things here, as Marquez, has been, pretty decent this season. But both sides are definitely in play. You liking Coors Field today?
Yeah, I like Coors Field today. I don't like Yu Darvish. I don't think Yu Darvish is a decent pitcher. I wouldn't even think about using Yu Darvish at all. And I wouldn't even give him credit for saying he's a decent pitcher.
Hey, I learned, I always thought he was a good pitcher. And then what was it? 2 years ago, he got traded to the Dodgers for our playoff run. And he just absolutely just shit the bed on us, basically. Ever since then, I've hated Yu Darvish. I thought he was going to give us something. And, it didn't help out. So, Colorado, Cubs, both sides of things are definitely in play. Moving on, next spot I'm going to be looking at, we got the Washington Nationals going against bro, I'm gonna butcher this name. You're gonna give me a hard time. What is it? Audrismer Despaigne? I know the last name Despaigne. I don't know how to say the first name. But anyways,
why don't you just say Despaigne, bro? You would have been cool.
because I was trying, I like to try to say the whole name if I could. But yeah, so I like Washington. Despondent, he's making his first start of the season, so we don't have really no numbers. I kind of went off his last year numbers. Last year he gave up a 40% hard contact rate, 122 ISO to lefties, 182 ISO to righties. So we want to target him with the righties. The Nationals have some solid righties in this lineup: Trey Turner, Rendon. Even Howie. You can look at a Howie Kendrick, a Dozier. I mean, I think those guys are in play. You could throw in the lefties to kind of complete the stack. Adam Eaton, Soto, Matt Adams. If he's in the lineup, he's definitely boomer bust, but he gives you some power upside there. So I think Washington's in a good spot. Going against Despondent, making his first start of the season. And another thing too, first start of the season, the guy that he could possibly be on a pitch count. That's something that I got to look into a little bit more. I didn't get a chance to look into. Could definitely turn into a bullpen game. We like bullpen games. So Washington, good spot today. Moving on. Next, I'm going to go with the Yankees. I like the Yankees going against Jason Vargas. Vargas just isn't a very good pitcher. He gives up a 40% hard contact rate, 224 ISO to lefties, 134 ISO to righties. The Yankees lineup, I mean, they've been swinging really, really good bats. I definitely think you could consider basically almost everybody in this lineup. Some guys standing out. I mean, you can look at, obviously the big power guys, Luke Voit, Sanchez, Torres is showing some power, Aaron Hicks, and then DJ LeMahieu. I mean, he doesn't necessarily give you the biggest power upside, but, the guy – swinging a really good bat. He's getting on base a lot. He gives you a little bit of stolen base upside as well. I definitely think this is a spot where, we want to get some lefties in there and some righties. I mean, we can start at the bottom of the order and go with Brett Gardner and round it back off to the top. I think that'll be kind of a cool little spot here for the Yankees. We got to see how the lineup shakes out and kind of go from there. But definitely Yankees are in play today against Jason Vargas.
One quick thing I'm going to caution you on, okay?
Go ahead.
I agree with you. Jason Vargas is not a very good pitcher. He's not been a very good pitcher in his whole career. However, this month, he has an ERA under 2, starting with a very solid start against the Dodgers. You can go back and look at his game log if you like, but his last 3 or 4 starts have been very decent. And then the Yankees, they do have a team ISO of 190. They only have a K percentage of 229 as a team. That's in its totality. But against left-handed pitchers, they have a 27% K percentage and only a 146 ISO. So the Yankees definitely eat off right-handed pitching. Their numbers and their struggles seem to be against left-handed pitching. I know Vargas is not a good pitcher. I'm not saying the Yankees don't have a chance to go off today, but I would caution you and say the Yankees definitely struggle against left-handed pitching, and this is a pitcher who has pitched decent against a couple of really good teams. The Giants start you can kind of throw out because everybody's beating the Giants up, but I believe he did pitch a complete game in his last outing against the Giants, and I think he did pitch 7 innings against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are one of the best teams to roster offensively. So I would just use a little bit of caution when you look at their numbers. They look a whole hell of a lot better when you look at them as a whole or against right-handed pitching, but just against left-handed pitching, they do have a 27% K percentage and only a 146 ISO.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. The final spot I'm going to quickly move to, I'm going to go to Atlanta. I like the Atlanta Braves today. At home, we continue to talk about this ballpark. They call it the Coors Field of the East. Really, really good hitters park. You get the Braves, they get a matchup against Joe Musgrove. 35% hard contact rate, 165 ISO to lefties, 177 ISO to righties. I mean, we're looking at the regular guys here. I mean, 1 through 6 are actually, I'm honestly going to be looking at 1 through 7. Acuna, Swanson up top. You got the lefties and Freddie Freeman, Markakis. Josh Johnson is looking like he's starting to pick it up a little bit compared to his the early start of the season. Austin Riley, a young guy that we've been playing since basically the first day that he came up to the minors, shows some massive power upside. Albies in the bottom of the order. Man, we know that this guy, he's an all-star. I mean, it is what it is, and he gives you some upside, stolen base, and power upside. I like the Braves at home. I think this is a good spot that they could put up some runs against Joe Musgrove. So just to kind of sum it up, and then I'll let you jump in here. I'm looking at both sides of the Coors Field game, with Colorado being the side that I want to focus on more. Washington going against Espana, Yankees against Vargas, and I like Atlanta versus Musgrove. So did I miss any spots that you're liking? And then you could kind of get us into pitching.
Yeah, I definitely like the Diamondbacks. You have to take a look at Jared Eichhoff, 19.4 K percent to lefties and a 333 ISO, two left-handed bats. There's some left-handed bats that we know will be in this Arizona Diamondbacks lineup. Ketel Marte, a switch hitter. Escobar, a switch hitter. They've got Peralta back. Peralta has some trade talk going around him. You know Peralta's going to try to show out to get off this roster and have some teams come after him. This Diamondbacks team has not been – they're not going to the playoffs, let's just say that. But they are a fun team for fantasy, and they can wreck a slate. Eichhoff is a guy that for some reason a lot of people like to roster him when he's on the slate. Jared Eichhoff, again, another Philadelphia Phillies right-handed pitcher who just absolutely gets blown up by left-handed bats. And he's not great against righties either. 23.1 K percent to righties and a 169 ISO. I know that it's not the benchmark ISO, but it's still an elevated ISO. The Diamondbacks is a team against right-handed pitching, a 175 ISO. They only have a 23% K percentage. So, I like this Diamondbacks matchup. I like the left-handed bats in the Diamondbacks lineup. Mainly, I like Marte, I like Escobar, and I like David Peralta in that spot. There's a couple of other guys that you could mix in there, but those are probably the three staples that I would put. And then, you did mention Coors Field. You did mention some other teams. I think you have to mention the Dodgers in this spot. I mean, a 213 ISO against right-handed pitching, only a 19.2 K percent. Griffin Canning's a guy that I have rostered since he made his debut. It's a guy I've talked about. But Griffin Canning has two problems. And one is he can't give up the long ball. And two, he has a hard time getting through 5 innings. So pitch count gets elevated. He does have strikeout stuff. I don't see, I can see him going out there and striking out 4 or 5 Dodgers, but the Dodgers as a whole just don't strike out a ton. Very low K percent. So I do like the Dodgers again on this slate. That's kind of, you kind of hit all of the other spots. But from a pitching standpoint, look, you've got Chris Sale, you've got Mike Minor, you've got Charlie Morton, all big names on this slate, and then you've got Ryu on this slate. And this is a really interesting spot for Ryu because the Angels as a whole just don't strike out. This team just doesn't strike out. A 16.4 K percentage as a team in its totality this season, only a 15.8 K percentage against left-handed pitching. But you look at Ryu on the flip side of it, a 27.3 K percent to lefties, an 092 ISO. There's not a lot of left-handed bats in this lineup. The K percentage drops to only 22.8 against righties. There are a lot of right-handed bats in this lineup, but he only gives up a 113 ISO to right-handed bats. So Ryu is having probably his best season, but I just don't know if for his price tag, if the strikeout upside is there. When you take a look at it, Charlie Morton, he's going to be pitching against the Athletics. They've got a 20.9 K percent, so that's a little bit higher, not much. Chris Sale, he'll face the Rangers with their 26.4 K percent against left-handed pitching. He's got to be the top spot, in my opinion, on this slate as far as upside and strikeouts. So that's kind of where I'm at with pitching right now. Again, we'll put the deep dive up. We'll have every pitcher graded out on the slate. There's a couple of spots I'm looking at that I think from a grading standpoint, they grade out a lot higher than one would think they would, and could be in some pretty good spots to be contrarian tonight. So that'll be on the deep dive later.
For sure. So, hey, man, if you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure to check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. And, hey, we kind of gave you an overview where we're at. If you want, like I said, if you want to kind of see more, make sure to check out the deep dive. Got that the core plays coming up, 5 guys that should be in all your cash game lineups. We have a crush spot, 5 guys that we think are going to go crazy today, regardless of price. Hey, man, check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. And good luck on your guys' contest tonight. Peace out.